Welcome back. In this video tutorial, I will show you how you can configure a DNS server using Microsoft Server 2016. So this is our setup, and in the local area network, we have two hosts. So the first host is the management station, and the second host is the Microsoft Server 2016 that has Active Directory configured as well. So I will assign a management station a host name of mgmt.mydata.com, and the Active Directory will have a host name of adc.mydata.com. In the DMZ, I've got a Linux server that is hosting a couple of services such as websites, SSH, and other services. That server will be given a host name of server.mydata.com. In the wide area network, I have two hosts. One is a Windows 10, the other one is a Linux machine. The Windows 10 will get a host name of win10.mydata.com, and the Linux client will get the host name of client.mydata.com. And finally, I've got the firewall that is segregating all three networks. The firewall will get a host name of FW1, short for firewall.mydata.com. Let's get to the topology and remind ourselves. So back on the topology, you can see that I've got my two hosts in the local area network, a single host in the DMZ, and two more hosts in the wide area network. So the server 2016, that is our AD controller, will be configured as a DNS server at the same time. Back on the management console, I'll click Tools, scroll down to DNS, then I select my server, which is ADC, and then I scroll down, then I go to forward and lookup zones, and then I select my domain, which is mydata.com. I'll right click on that and scroll down to new host. So I'll add a new host. So the first host that I'll add is the management station. So the host name is going to be MGT, and then I specify the IP address. So it's going to be 2020, it's going to be 10.20.20.10. I'll click add, click OK. The second host is my ADC or my Active Directory, and I think it's predefined. Yes, I can see it there. So I'll remove that. Okay, the second host will be my firewall. So the firewall will get a host name of FW1 and give it an IP address. So I'll give the IP address of the firewall, which is the local area network zone. So it's going to be 10.20.20.99. Click add host, click OK. Then I move to the wide area network. So I've got a Windows 10. So the host name will be Win10. The IP address is going to be 192.168.20.10. Add host, click OK. And finally, the Linux machine, of which will get a host name of client, and its IP address is going to be 192.168.20.20. Add host, click OK, click done. As you can see now, I have the hosts defined. So I've got the Active Directory, that is ADC. Then I've got the MGMT, that is our management station. I've got the firewall here, that is FW1, the Windows 10 client, and finally the Linux client in wide area network. If I want the changes to take effect, I'll just select my domain, which is mydata.com, right click on that and click refresh. One final step, I must go back to DNS, double click on that, and then scroll to ADC. I'll have to double click, and then under forwarders, I'll double click on that. What is a forwarder? Basically, a forwarder is a DNS where we send queries to if the local DNS cannot resolve. For example, in this case, we're only resolving hosts that belong to my data.com domain, but we cannot resolve hosts that are on internet, for example, facebook.com, yahoo.com. So we need to forward those requests to a DNS that can do the resolving for us. So in this case, I have the IP address of the firewall. So I'll click edit, and then I'll click on that. Instead of the 10.20.20.99, I will add a public DNS. In this case, I will use Cloudflare's public DNS, which is 1.1.1.1. So I'll click OK, and then I'll wait for it to resolve, and it has resolved. So I'll click OK again and exit.